Hello everyone, welcome to the Metal Galaxy YouTube channel. For those who don't know us yet, we bring reviews, interviews and news from the Metal Galaxy into your living room. And for those who already have been following us, know what this review is going to be about. And for those who don't know, subscribe and you won't miss any news from the Metal Galaxy. Our last interview we did with Heavy Goes On and On was with Lena from Infected Rain, who released Ecdysis from Napalm Records, and we had done an interview, and now I'm doing a review about it. And this will be a review where I look back in the past, as I've listened quite a lot of Infected Rain albums like Asylum, 86 and Endorphin. However, it will be my first time in doing a review. And I will take all this into account and I will discuss the music, the lyrics, the artwork, the videos, and in the end, I will give a summary. The music, well, at first when I was listening to Ecdysis, I was like, whoa, I was blown away as it has so much emotions and it's so intense, this album. And also there is a lot of experimentation. Because you hear a lot more electronic elements there were in the previous one, but I would say that in this album the band derived a bit from the metalcore scene and they just mixed other influences, which I think is a great thing because it adds much more diversity into the album, making each song a bit different than the other ones and standing also out of the previous one. And another thing that I really liked in this album is that it has a beginning and an end. It starts with Postmortem 1 and ends with Postmortem 2. And both songs have a kind of electronic soundtrack. And in the beginning, you're just basically waiting for Lena to shout and getting a real taste of the music. And when the time comes to just finish this album, it has again an untypical soundtracks and it just gives closure in an impressive way. And there is another thing I really liked about the album, and it's the very fact that Lena uses a different singing technique on this album. And as a result, there are much more different vocal ranges, and it creates a diverse layer and it enhances the experimental part. And also the production is amazing compared to the previous album. This one feels much more modern and fresh, as I think they've just chosen a modern production, making the vocals and the instrumental much more crystal clear and also easier to follow the lyrics. Basically, all elements above have contributed in making Ecdysis much more mature, organic, and diverse than all albums before, making it a great album for first-time metalcore listeners, as this album is not 100% metalcore, but has other influences, making it very easy for first listeners to get to know this genre. But also for older fans, this album will be quite a surprise, as Infected Rain went a bit of different direction. So summarizing this part, Ecdysis has the best pacing and diversity of all albums. The lyrics. Ecdysis leans very heavily on Lena's own life experience. For example, 910 is based on her insomnia experience, whereas Goodbye is the struggle to fully let some things just go. And next to the writing, she just wants to send a message across, such as learning to stand for yourself and to protect your inner world. And my favorite songs are Fighter, because it's about a feminine figure that has gone through so much and she's not giving up, she just fights. I think it's a very interesting and empowering song for a woman. And this is not so weird if you compare to other albums, as the other albums were also leaning towards Lena's own experience. However, I would say that this album is the most intense one, and it has a lot of emotions are loaded, much more than the previous one. And thinking why this is the case, I think it could be caused because of the lockdown. Lena has been spending 2 years giving her really time to think, reflect on things, and just writing it on paper. But there is, I think, also something else at play. A lot of songs are very easy to remember and to shout along. Before I knew it, I was just shouting along to Fighter, singing along actually every song on this album. And this was what I was missing on Endorphin, and I can't exactly put my finger and explain what it is, but in some way this song sparked recognition and engagement, something none of the other albums have done in such a capacity. And also I love the titles as they are straight to your face and you can hint what emotions will be unfolded and unleashed, as well as the topic. To give an example, The Fighter is a song about the struggle, surviving and fighting despite odds, and Goodbye is just letting things go. This is an element I haven't seen in the other albums. So Ecdysis has the most intense, personal and recognizable lyrics. Let's go now to the artwork. So the artwork is quite an interesting journey. According to Lena, the idea just literally came during the shooting of Postmortem and was created by two people, Videk, the co-founder of Infected Rain, and Victoria, the photographer. And I think it's a brilliant way, as Postmortem is an excellent song, opening and closing Ecdysis, and also the symbolization of the cocoon. The cocoon fits very well with the lyrics, as a lot of topics are about emotions unleashed. So basically you're in the cocoon and you just unleash everything. And now about the videos. So Infected Rain is known for the astonishing video making. And there were two songs that really spoke to me, that were Fighter and Postmortem. And the very reason that Fighter spoke to me, like I said before, it's an intense song about a feminine figure fighting and surviving despite the odds. And it's an interesting way how it's told in this video, as it has two perspectives, two girls fighting, and Lena herself in a mirror bring the emotions across. And it's just interesting how emotionally loaded this video is and how they are unleashed. And also, like I said before, Postmortem is the opening and closure of the album, so it makes totally sense to be the main video of getting to know the album and being also the most excellent one. I like the very cocoon part, as Lena is wrapped around spider webs, and then in the end she just pops out and unleashes basically the emotions, what could be also symbolizing the... I'm now going to summarize everything. So in short, I quite enjoyed Ecdysis, as it is a huge step forward for a band that already creates excellent music. Music is better paced and much more diverse, whereas the lyrics are much more intense, personal and recognizable, and it's all packed in intense and astonishing video. Ecdysis is the most intense album I've ever listened to. So thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe, as we have more news from the Metal Galaxy, and check all links below as we to get your own copy of Ecdysis. And bye. See you next time.